From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a big evening of Evenings LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021, direct from Santa Monica, California. In this recording, we'll go over that monthly stimulus check and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Then the recon. Done deal. The recon voting is started. The House members are back in town, and they are ready to do the recon. But are they doing more than just the recon? Breaking details you're only going to hear on this channel across the board. Then we go into the final 15 minutes of this video as the president has a secret meeting last night. What was that meeting about? It was not about donuts. I have all the details in the final 15 minutes of this video. A lot of money and a lot of great news. It's coming up in the final 15. Then we go over the big money across the board that viewers are continuing to get. And then the excitement that's captivating a country. LALATE alerts. Thousands have signed up in less than 24 hours. I'm just overwhelmed by the response. They're free. They give you alerts when breaking news happens and news about all the videos. I'm going to show you to make sure how to subscribe and also confirm that you receive the alerts. You got to check that spam folder or more. I have all the incredible details as we go into a big evenings starting right now. Having a beautiful evening across the board. The President of the United States for your fourth stimulus had secret meetings on Sunday with the Democrats. What were they about? I have all the details in the fascinating final 15 minutes of this video, stay to the very end. But the recon's heating up. We'll go over those monthly stimulus checks direct from Santa Monica today and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. We'll be going over the recon vote and what Steny Hoyer tipped us off with in his incredible message and why this $3.5 trillion of checks is the biggest you've ever seen in the history of this channel. But this is LALATE, America's only 24-hour day, 7 days a week. Financial news channel in America, live in the morning and taped in the afternoons. And I'm so excited for you to join me on this supersized evenings LALATE. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this channel. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Meantime, the talk of the town has been those LALATE alerts. It's totally free, and the link is at the top of the chat. The LALATE alerts send you alerts when breaking news happens, send you alerts when a new video happens. You go to the link. It's on the LALATE website. And you put in your name and email address, and you get alerts like this one for noontime saying, hey, here you go. It's at news.la.com. Make sure you watch for the confirmation email after you sign up that says, do you confirm you want to subscribe? It may be in the spam folder. Nearly 50% of you are still waiting for confirmation. And then I'll say thank you. And with that, let's go into that monthly stimulus check that the Democrats want you to have. House versus Senate, Senate versus House. I have all the incredible details starting right now with more Democrats saying, you got to give them a stimulus check. What's going on here? Who are the people? What are they saying? Let's look at the details starting right now. When you look at Senate versus House, we have a lot of people that are making the push. Warren, Sanders, and Wyden on the Senate side, saying in just recent days to the president, we need a stimulus check and it needs to be monthly, but they don't say the amount. Then we have AOC and Omar telling the president need a stimulus check and it needs to be monthly. They do say the amount. They say $2,000. Next, we have the incredible House Ways and Means Committee, which actually writes for stimulus. And they're saying we need a monthly stimulus check, but they don't say the amount. And they're also saying fifth stimulus. And then the American petition, which is approaching nearly 3 million signatures across the country, saying we need a monthly stimulus check of $2,000. $2,000 is the reoccurring theme and monthly, but let's look at that House bill, pandemic plus 1 year, which would amount to $1,000 after the first month, and that would be more than 12 checks. More than $13,000. Compare that to the Senate. I think you have an opinion. Vote House or Senate. House or Senate, and tell me where you're tuning in from. And how's the weather? Who gets this fourth stimulus check? You do. Democrats represent that. If you got a third, they want to give you a fourth. Single individual, 75,000 or less, they want to give you a fourth stimulus check. Married couple, 150,000 or less, they want to give you a fourth stimulus check. Marry a family of four, they certainly want to give you a fourth stimulus check. And then finally, if you're on benefits, the Democrats represent, they want to give you a fourth stimulus check. The fourth stimulus check is on income. It's not taxable. And the fourth stimulus check is the same amount for everyone, including adult dependents. Finally, the fourth stimulus check is not a waivable check. So if you do emerge out from the casino and you see the check wandering, sort of staggering, like it's had too much $12 ice cream, don't wave at the check. Hey, check. Wait a second, LALATE. I see two of you. Oh, you had too much $12 ice cream. Well, I hope I see reoccurring ones of you. There you go. In the second half of this video, we'll go over the incredible great news about the recon and why they're back in session. Not the senators, but the House members and what they're doing. And what was that president's meeting? We'll go over that in the third part of this video. His secret meeting about fourth stimulus recon. It is incredible. Then we'll cut to the big money across the board that viewers continue to get. But first, let's get some money. Get a pen and paper ready. And boy, in rolling out the LALATE alerts in less than 24 hours. Can you imagine I did in less than 24 hours build out a whole platform for you? I was unable to go through your private messages you've been sending me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram of your big success stories for rent utilities, but continue to send them, and I'm going to feature them tomorrow because you're killing it. And tonight's your day to get more money as well. So getting pen and paper ready. We're going to go big sums of money for rent. How much are people getting for rent? It's just incredible. The success stories continue to come on in. And I have people literally on the hour sending me messages. And I'm going to get caught up on all your messages and deliver them for the rest of the viewers in just tomorrow. But let's look at the big numbers coming into today. $27,000. Wow. Purple Hawk member Elizabeth, $27,000 for rent. Mark, Purple Hawk, $25,000. Nancy, $24,000. Richard, $22,000 for rent. And Nisi, $20,000 for rent. When we talk about utilities, Cecilia got $1,200 for HEAP. That's a heap of HEAP. Well, let's look and see what everyone else did. Oh, wow. Nancy, great job. $7,000 for utilities. Mark, $6,500 for utilities. And Angela, $5,000 for utilities. Great news for you and your family. And then for SNAP, it's not a couple dollars. It's not a couple pennies. It's a lot of $12 ice cream. Let's look. Oh, boy. Louis getting $18,000 for SNAP. John, $10,000 to $12,000. And there's Nancy with three items. Nancy got to the final round, the Triple Crown. So who else got three items? Let's look with Nancy. Oh, my goodness. Nisi getting $23,000 from three items. Nancy, $32,000 from three items. And Mark getting $32,000 for two items. Two items. How did Mark get on my graphic? That's a graphic about three items. Let me tell you what happened. Mark is a wonderful story that actually has three wonderful, great parts to it. Number one, Mark had got to two items, and for 5 days on camera, I said to Mark, go get Snap, because guess what? It's a Snap. It's very easy to get. And the first part of the story I love, Mark got Snap in less than 5 days. Wow. The second part of the story I love, Mark told his neighbor, say, watch that kid, LA. He's the real deal. His neighbor went from zero to $20,000 of rent approved in less than 5 days. Oh, my goodness. And then the third part of the story I love for Mark is he got enormous amount of SNAP. How much do you think he got? Because it's a SNAP. He got $19,000. So SNAP bringing his grand total to $50,500. And boy, the sky's the limit, because Lorraine came days later and got $105,000 from this channel. And you can do it as well, because this is LALATE. Everyone's been winning on LALATE since day one. In day one, I launched this channel because people's EIDL loans and grants were stalled up, not getting approved, not going anywhere, stuck in a vortex, the 330, the 331, the 48 vortex. Remember that post in the live chat if you do. Where I stepped in and got their applications approved, doing their applications on air, doing their applications off air on private messaging, getting 10 applications a day approved at about $150,000 a pop, $25 million of EIDL loans approved, saving people's homes, their businesses, and their employees' homes. But in fall 2020, you needed money. You needed second stimulus check. It was not coming. It was the holidays. So what do? I got you money for rent. $250,000, and Tyrone picked up the phone and got $15,000 for rent for his family of four out of Boston, paid all their rent from December to March. But now you're doing it better and bigger than ever before. And if you just found this channel, welcome. If you know this channel but haven't got to the money, tonight's your night. So get a pen, paper ready. We're going to go over all the details starting right now. You're going to reach out to 6 places to start. Let me give you some introductory comments. Number 1, I'm going to show you 6 places to reach out to. So if the first one says no, reach out to the next. They have different eligibility. Number 2, they have different pots of money. So who cares if the first one says no? Number 3, each place does it differently. Number 4, every state has the same amount of money based upon the number of residents. Federal government get the same amount to every state. So don't think your state has less money than another state. It's based upon how many residents are in the state. But if you're in a town of 100 people, you may have to go up the food chain to the county or up the food chain to the state. More about that in a second. Finally, listen to the keywords I say in the video. It helps people get approved, and don't insert new eligibility criterion. Like, they don't give people money that they wear a purple shirt. How dare them? They do give people money if they wear a purple shirt. And let's go over all the great details with the 6 places to reach out to, starting right now. Your city hall, your city housing authority. Your county hall, your county housing authority. Your state hall, your state housing authority. I'm so excited for you. Do it. Pick up the phone. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. You don't say words they don't know. Oh, please don't. Like stimulus or Michitini. They don't want to hear that. What's a Michitini? Half $12 ice cream, half lobster sauce. Oh, Lord. And if you got rent utilities, post in the live chat right now. Congratulations, Tim and Linda, who got this wonderful pot of money. The next pot of money is SNAP, and it's a SNAP. Guess what? Lynn Glenn got it for herself, her son and her mom. Gail got it as well, and John, of course, got $10,000 to $12,000. Louis, $18,000, and Mark, $19,000. It's your day to get that money. Where do you get it? Department of Agriculture. It's easy. Pick up the phone. Eligibility is easier than a stimulus check. Why would you not do it? Family of 4 out of Hawaii gets upwards of $16,000 a year. But if you were with this channel on Monday, you saw the live breaking news on air when it happened, and it's absolutely incredible. Why is Mark going from $19,000 to $25,000 annualized? Because of this. The federal government changed pace and said, you know what, we're going to pay you more. Effective on Monday, they announced the following. This October, everyone's SNAP benefits go up. An average of 25% lifetime automatically everywhere. Wow, this is incredible, great news. So if you're on Snap, post your live chat. If you got Snap because of the channel, post in the live chat your success story across the board. And now let's turn to the unemployment benefits coming back from your state. This is where the state overpaid you due to computer error because they're still on Windows 22. That was before Windows 98, before Windows 76. It's Windows 1922. Yeah, they need to upgrade. That was where the keyboards were made out of wood. Yes, Windows 22. So reach out to your state and get that money. The average payment that viewers are getting is $3,000, $2,000, $5,000. The last part of the money is the refund check coming back from IRS on that 2020 tax return. Mark got it, Cobb got it, Michael got it, and boy, Mark reveals he got $1,400. The average payment is $1,200, but a viewer over this weekend reveals she got $2,200. Great news across the board. More about that in a second. But first, a personal message from me to you. The spirit of this channel is me helping you. And so I inspire to help you across the board. That's why I stopped everything on Sunday and launched LALATE alerts, because you can't miss any breaking news about anything as something happens. But I also want you to get in the live chat and post your success stories, because when you post your success stories, you help other people. Why? Because the spirit of this channel is you helping others as well. And when you post your success story, you'd be shocked what happens from that. Number one, people get inspired to say, you know what, I'm picking up the phone, enough already. I see all these people getting these big sums of money. I'm going to get the money. I'm going to pick up the phone and call. Number two, people realize there's a lot more money at stake than a few $100s. Number three, people like Nisi and Art Sullivan are incredible because they inspired us all to get 3 items. They got 3, and now people are getting 3 items routinely. And then we know that they're bigger sums of money than we ever thought before. So post your success stories in the live chat. And with that, let's go to the next pot of incredible money, which is the refund check from 2020. Where is that landing? Direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. Can you track it? Yeah, go to irs.gov and do a transcript search, and 70% of the time it'll work. It'll reveal the refund check you're getting, the tax return you filed, the taxes you paid, and then stuff you wish you had never seen. Like the ingredient list to make a beautiful Michitini. Oh, again with that thing. Can we top that? Yes, as we go into the second part of your 4 stimulus check update of 2021, starting right now. Deal done. How can I say deal done? Let me tell you what's going on with this recon. The Democrats met before they started on the recon to agree upon a price tag. And that price tag, $3.5 trillion. And about 2 weeks ago, the Senate side approved the recon procedural at a price tag of $3.5 trillion. So the rest of this recon is virtually solidified as to price and total magnitude. Number one, they've agreed upon the price tag. Number two, they've agreed they're going to pass the recon, all the Democrats. Number three, they don't need any Republicans. Number four, the president says I have to have recon and roads and bridges on my desk at the same time. The Republicans love the roads and bridges. The Democrats love the recon, and they're both going to do them at the same time. And finally, the recon is all checks for you. Lots and lots and lots of checks for you. When the first, second, and third were this big, fourth stimulus is this big. And while the previous stimulus packages were mostly for corporations, this one's all for you. How do we get to this wonderful spot? By taking roads and bridges out of the recon, and that's what shrunk the recon and made it passable. The higher the price tag was on the recon before, the harder it was to pass, a conservative publication confirming my reporting. But by allowing the Democrats to take out some of the spending from the recon, the roads and bridges, and put in the bipartisan, the overall price tag of the recon got smaller. In other words, the recon was made passable by the bipartisan and vice versa. Now, here's something you're never going to hear anywhere else except on this channel, is that the Democratic caucus met with the president, agreed upon the $3.5 trillion price tag before they started this. And it wasn't just senators, it was also House members. So this recon price vote of $3.5 trillion is a simple vote. And this is why Representative Ilhan Omar and Representative Richie Torres, both Democrats, both progressives, had said before the 3.5, we have to go big and bold. We need a recon that goes as far as we want it. We need to have a larger recon. Well, you got it, $3.5 trillion. Once they got that $3.5 trillion price tag agreed upon them and agreeing they're going to pass it, then the president said, protect everything that's in that recon for me. And that's what Schatz and Jalopal, both Democrats, both progressives, said the White House told them. The White House considers the progressive priorities in the recon the White House's priorities. So what's a recon? What is a bipartisan? What is a recon procedural? What is a recon substantive? Let's go over all the details starting right now. And it's not particularly complicated at all when it's explained slowly, starting with the two paths. We have two paths we're dealing with. First path is recon, and second path is bipartisan. The first one is your money. The second one is not your money. Recon is your money. Reconciliation, budget bill, price tag $3.5 trillion. Also called the Democratic spending plan. Also called the progressive social plan, because it's all checks for you. Bipartisan, not your money. This is roads and bridges, also called infrastructure. We got three bills to do. We have to do recon procedural, then we have to do recon substantive, and then we have to do bipartisan. So what's the difference between this procedural and substantive? Let's go over the details. Recon procedural is very simple. In fact, it's what they already did a long time ago. They agreed upon a price tag before they started this whole process. So this vote on the recon procedural is, sort of pomp and circumstance. Do you agree upon the price tag of $3.5 trillion? Of course I do. I already told you that weeks ago. And then do you agree that committee number one gets $10 from this? Of course I did. You asked me this 3 weeks ago. Why are you asking me again? Because we got to vote on it now. Oh, okay. Once they're done with the recon procedural, then they do the recon substantive. That's where the substance kicks in. How are the committees that are given $10, $20, $30, how are they going to spend the money? Who are they spending the money on, and how does this work? How do we get to this wonderful spot? By Jalopal, who recently wrote Schumer a letter saying Chuck called the vote on the recon. The letter was signed by 12 House Democrats, who are part of the 100-plus House Democrats, who recently wrote the president a letter saying, hey, we're going to be putting monthly forced stimulus checks in that forced stimulus recon. Wow, Purple Power, you got to keep those people to their promise. Can we top that? Yes. 7 members of the House Ways and Means Subcommittee recently wrote the president a letter saying we're going to be putting monthly fourth stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus recon. Wow, the same subcommittee we talked about earlier in this video, we did. And yes, they promise monthly for stimulus checks. They do not say the amount, but they do say it's monthly, and they represent a fifth as well. You got to push Purple Power and make sure the House Ways and Means Committee keeps their promise, and AOC and Omar and all these other House members across the board. Can we top that? Yes. As Biden did it 8 weeks ago, he went overseas for a ceremonial signature, but the real signature came days later. It's for something called the global minimum corporate tax rate. Now it doesn't have to be in the recon. Now it's easier to pass the recon. Easier to vote on the recon, easier to write it, and easier to pass the recon because that confusing thing is not in there. And boy, can we top that? Yes. As we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, so much breaking news across the board with that secret meeting about the president and your recon, the incredible voting process starting today about that recon, the return of your House members for your recon, and the push to make sure everything is right in the recon. But first, if you have gotten $1 from this channel over the last year, you are perfectly set up for forced stimulus. But if you haven't, I want you to do it. I want you to pick up the phone, call the utilities department. Say I need some utility assistance because of COVID, or electric, or water, heating oil, telephone, or rent assistance because of COVID. City Hall, City Housing Authority, County Hall, County Housing Authority, State Hall, State Housing Authority. When you get one item, you're ready to pounce into forced stimulus. And then if you can't get the remainder of the items, don't worry, reach out to the volunteers. Where are they? They're on the community page. It's news.lalate.com/community. Here's a little bit about them, and I'll be back in 60 seconds with you with the continuation of the big Evenings at LALATE. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Evenings LALATE as we go into the final 15 minutes of this video with exciting great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. As we go into this new week, there's so much happening as the House members are back in session. So what are they voting on, and what was that secret message in there from Steny Hoyer, the majority leader from the House? Then, did the President of the United States have a secret meeting yesterday? He did. What did they discuss about forced stimulus recon? I have all those details and more. And then I go over all this big money for you under forced stimulus. All the biggest sums of money and why you're ready to pounce as a Purple Hawk and as a viewer of this channel. And with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Coming up next is the continuation of Overnight's Crypto. Stay on this video, will automatically take you there. But later in this video, 2 personal messages for me as well, so stay to the very end. Meantime, the President of the United States, when running for the highest office in the land, said he was going to raise your benefits up if you're on SSI and SSDI. He did not do that, and now the Democrats are taking care of this in what is called fifth stimulus. When is fifth stimulus? Let's go over all the details right now. Fifth stimulus heats up in September by those Democrats with that SSI reform. First thing they do is put it to drafting. Then they put it to a vote by about November, and then the benefits will hit your account by presumably November. Step 1, raise your benefit limits up. Step 2, apply a new inflationary benchmark. Number 3, remove the asset limit. Then apply remove the income exclusion and remove the marriage penalty. Let's go over how this calculates starting right now. Who is this for? You. You're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, veteran benefits, SSA, or multiple beneficiaries. Step 1 is they'll raise your benefits up a lifetime. Then they'll apply a new benchmark. Where is that benchmark going? Well, that benchmark is inflation, and it's going to be transitory, says Jay Powell, head of the Federal Reserve, which means basically a spike, and then it's going to come back down. How high? I'm saying about 5%. And guess what? It's going to be at that spike right when they apply your benchmark. Oh, that's great news. So let's do the analysis. First, they'll raise your benefits up, then they'll apply the benchmark. If it's 5%, you'll be up another 5%. Not just next year, but lifetime. Because once your benefits step up, they never step down. So if the inflation rate is 2% the year after that, you'll be at +1, +5, +2%. Then they're going to move the asset cap, dating back to a 1980s law that says you can't stay on benefits and have more than $3,000 in hand. Now you have room to have some muddled. Did you call this muddled? No, no, no. You'll be able to keep some $3,000 stimulus checks in your hand and some beautiful purple. Then they'll remove the income cap, dating back to a 1960s law that says you can't work and stay on benefits. Finally, the marriage penalty is going to end, and love is going to win, and you'll be able to do a pair dance. You'll no longer fear a loss of benefits, and you'll be able to do a pair dance at your own wedding. And if your benefits were canceled, they'll be restored. Finally, are the Democrats giving you a fifth stimulus check? The House Ways and Means Committee represent. There will be. It would not overlap with fourth. It would be next year. Finally, if you're in the live chat and you notice people that have Purple Hawks next to the name and you've not become a Purple Hawk, what are you doing? You need to click the link to become a member today. The member link is under the video where it says click here. Members are delivered daily from me a breakdown of all the big money available for them under second stimulus, first stimulus, and third stimulus, and what's proposed under fourth and fifth stimulus. Because this is how Purple Hawks are getting the big sums of money from this channel. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, $30,000 across the board. Purple Hawks are cleaning up. When second stimulus was waiting upon us in December, people were not getting their checks. And so I said, hey, I need you to get money. And I got viewers $250,000, like Louis got $15,000 from rent. But then when we waited for third stimulus in January, I said, sure, there's a $1,400 stimulus check, but I can get you a lot more than $1,400 stimulus check. And I did. I said at the time, I can get you $14,000. And now you see the numbers people are getting. Not $14,000, $30,000, $20,000, $50,000. Big monies across the board, and the numbers keep on getting bigger, even with Lorraine. So consider becoming a Purple Hawk. The link is under the video, and away we go. And with that, we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, starting right now. Deal done. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to you under the fourth stimulus recon. Let's go over what a recon is doing with you and why I'm saying deal done. Number one, the recon will pass because the price tag has already been agreed upon before they started the process. Before Democrats started the recon process, they agreed upon the price tag, $3.5 trillion. So the vote about the price tag is much of a ceremonial vote, and the splitting of the money among committees is also much a done deal. The recon is all checks for you. And yes, while there's a push to put stimulus checks in there, the recon is these massive checks for you coming from the federal government. It's what Bernie Sanders fought a generation to get for you across the board. First, second, third stimulus, about this big. Fourth stimulus, this big. First, second, third, 80% about corporations. This all about you. This is a incredible great payday across the board. They don't need any Republican votes, and they have all the Democratic votes, and the president says I need recon and bipartisan both on my desk at the same time. Guess what? No one's trying to ambush the other because they don't want to destroy one bill for their own bill, because the president says I need both, otherwise I'm not signing one at the time. Now, what's going on? Well, Steny Hoyer is calling back those House members. In fact, they're back. I had told you 3 weeks ago that Steny Hoyer was going to bring them back. And then I told you about 2 weeks ago, he had ordered them back. At the time, people said, they're gone till like January 2022. I'm like, no, they're not. So they're back. I liked Steny Hoyer's letter for the third reason. He mentions 3 comments in there. I'm not focused on the day of the vote. I'm focused on the next part of the letter. He says, get back to town by August 23rd today. Then he says, get ready to vote as early as 6 o'clock tonight. And then he says his third comment, which is the one I'm really focused on. Once you're back in town, don't expect to leave until we're finished with all this. Finished with all what? Finished with all what? The recon procedural is a blink of an eye. It's a snap. It's like snap. It's like a snap. You click your feet, you're done. Recon procedure is 10 seconds. Do you agree upon the price tag? Of course I do. I already told you I agree upon the price tag. $3.5 trillion. And each committee gets, $10. Yes, I already told you this 3 weeks ago. Done. So Steny Hoyer is saying, we're going to stay here till we're finished. Finished with recon procedure? Well, that takes 10 seconds. So what is left? You know the answer. It's the recon substantive. Oh, how the committees spend the money. Why does this make incredible great news and make incredible great sense? Let me tell you why. About 4 weeks ago, I told you there was a lot of gossip that said the recon procedural, which went Senate to House, would be different than the recon substantive, which they had heard was going House to Senate. And when Hoyer's comments came out, it made total sense. Moreover, if you look at who's in session, who's not in session, this really makes sense. When they did recon procedural, House gone, Senate in session. So they started in the Senate, then they said, we're done. Okay, House, come back in town. We're done with the recon procedural. Now, recon procedural is being done on the House side, and the Senate is gone. So when they're done in a second with the House, with the recon procedural, then what is left for the Senate for the House to do if the Senate is gone? The House can then go right into recon substantive, and when they're done, get that Senate back in town and send it over to them. And off to the president, and finally, law. Wow, this makes total sense. Now, I love this for a series of many reasons, all which are more money to us. Number one, I like having started in the subcommittee. I like starting in the House because the subcommittee of the House is who's writing the legislation. We already knew over the last 3 months of this channel that the House subcommittee is the one writing the recon substantive. So it makes more sense to have the House members vote on something their subcommittees are working on. Number two, the House members always pay more money than senators. Number three, the House members are more progressive than the moderate Democrats in the Senate. They spend more money, the progressives, than the moderates. And number five, I really like starting the House side because if they spend more money, then the senators have the vote-a-rama that goes on top of that later on. Wow, this is great news. Now, nothing ever is a cakewalk, and that is why I brought back Seats for Stimulus. Seats for Stimulus basically says spend the money the right way or we're taking your seats. Well, why do we have to worry about that if all the checks of the $3.5 trillion are for us? Because while it's all for us, we have to ensure they spend it the right way. Remember, on the recon substantive, they're determining how the committees are to spend the money. How the committees are to spend the money. And so that's why I brought back Seats for Stimulus. Tag your elected officials with this video. Say, you need to spend the money the right way. Spend it on me. And ironically, there's 6 House seats up for grabs. The House members who are working potentially on recon substantive, their House seats are up for grabs, 6 of them. And those 6 seats could determine how Democratic or how Republican the House goes. The 34 Senate seats are not up for grabs until next year. So with that, do we know what is in that recon substantive bill? We do not, but we have some proposals, and this will give us a little bit of indication of what was that secret meeting with the president yesterday. Okay, so here we go. Here are some of the proposed items for forced stimulus recon substantive. Free school meals for all, checks. Cheaper prescription medication, checks. Lots of checks for farming, lots of checks for free internet, lots of checks for workers and seniors alike, independent contractors, checks, dental checks, vision checks, hearing care checks, and lots of checks like that. So what was the president's meeting on Sunday? Well, buried in a news article, I tell you, I always find the good stuff for you on this channel. Buried in a news article, the president had a secret meeting on Sunday about your forced stimulus recon. What about? Page 1. One of the provisions in page 1 of the proposed items for forced stimulus recon, he told his Democratic caucus, I think you need to push this narrative out to the American people because this makes the recon very delicious sounding. And what is that provision? The provision is cheaper prescription medication. Now I'm going to explain to you what he's doing and why I think this is brilliant and why I actually think it works. What he's trying to say is that Americans need relief now. And the roads and bridges take years to build. And even a check, like a stimulus check, doesn't come within 24 hours. People need money right now. They need to see results right now. And so cheaper prescription medication would deliver a result overnight. What would happen? One type of medication would go from $10 to $5, for example, overnight, and would save you $5. What's going on? Well, what they're doing under this proposal is to say, hey, pharmaceutical companies have a negotiated rate, for example, with Medicare, $10 for this item. We're going to pass a law and say, no, you're charging too much. We're going to cut it in half, $5. Done law. The next morning you wake up, suddenly if you're at the pharmacy, you're paying half the amount of money you paid the day before. Your money is going a long way. You're keeping $5 in the bank that you didn't have to spend. That is why he told his Democratic caucus to do that. I love that. All right, now let's turn to the incredible details about this forced stimulus recon. Now, while there's a push underway to put stimulus checks in there, and they need to put stimulus checks in there, it's important to understand there's a lot of room to put stimulus checks in there. This is a lot of money. It's $3.5 trillion. I mean, come on. This is just an enormous sum of money. And while Warren and Sanders and also Wyden and AOC and Omar and the House bill and the House Ways and Means all say they want to put a stimulus check in there, you need to push Purple Power and make sure they do it. Now, let me go to what people have asked about, this notion of application base. You've done that. You've picked up the phone under first, second, or third stimulus, whether it's PEBT or PUA. You've called up and say, I need this money. It's my money. You've done it before. If you've done it before, you're ready for fourth stimulus. Why would it be application based, certain most of the items? Because if we're talking about checks for dental or checks for vision, or checks for medicine and medicine prices, guess what? Those checks don't come from IRS. IRS doesn't send out checks for your teeth. They got their own teeth. They don't send out checks to you for teeth. You get money for your teeth from another department of the federal government. And it's not like it's a big hard pull. You just pick up the phone and get the money. That's always how this federal government has worked, where you pick up the phone, you get the money. So a lot of this money in here is things that are in certain places that you pick up the phone and get it. And trust me, if you got any money on the third stimulus, on the second stimulus, or first stimulus, you're going to do really well when it turns to fourth stimulus. Meantime, two personal messages. The first one and the second one starting right now. Let's go over them. Number one, I need your help on something. So if you're in the live chat and you're a Purple Hawk member with a hawk emoji next to your name, I need you to post in the live chat right now, if this is the case for you, the following. I'm a member, I'm not getting YouTube alerts. I need you to write that. I'm a member, I'm not getting YouTube alerts. Since Wednesday of last year, YouTube member alerts from the community page on this channel have not been sent. Not a single one. I sent about, a couple dozen a day. Nothing on Wednesday afternoon, nothing on Thursday, nothing on Friday, nothing on Saturday, nothing on Sunday, nothing on today. Sort of a reoccurring theme. And they need verification from you, the members, that you're not getting the YouTube member alerts from the community page. So post in the live chat right now, not getting YouTube member alerts if you're a YouTube member. And that means you have a Purple Hawk emoji next to your name. Finally, the exciting great details is that everyone is talking about the incredible brand new LALATE alerts. It's a massive blockbuster success. I created the platform in less than 24 hours and rolled it out to you to ensure that you now have the most up-to-date alerts for news across the board from this channel completely free. You go to news.la.com/alerts. A link to it is at the top of the chat, also in the pinned comment, also in the description of this video. It's on the LALATE website itself. When you land there, it'll ask you to put in your name and your email address. That's step one. Then step two is it's going to send you an email saying, please confirm you want to be part of the LALATE alerts. You need to confirm. You need to confirm. The confirmation email asking you to confirm might be in your spam folder, so look for it. It's from LALATE, and it looks just like this with a blue button. And it says, please confirm you want to be receiving LALATE alerts. When you click it, it'll say, this graphic. These are all graphics coming from LALATE. Thank you. You have now subscribed for the LALATE alerts. It'll send you alerts like this one that says, hi, now playing, tune in, noontime LALATE. And this is the alert that the noontime viewers got today. It has a link directly to the video and sends you right into the video. Because you can't miss news. No one can miss news. You can't miss anything. It's 100% free, so sign up. And if you did sign up but you haven't confirmed, please do. Over 50% of the viewers are still in the confirmation mode because they haven't done the second step. And with that, so much incredible great news across the board. I'm so excited for you as we go into a big night. Let's recap where we are because a lot of stuff has happened. Number one, House members back in session. Senators gone. House members doing the recon procedural vote, step one. Step two, they likely will go right into the recon substantive because there's a lot of rumors that they would, and they're actually writing the recon substantive. And the Senate's gone, and the House members staying indefinitely. So it makes sense they're going to recon substantive. Recon Substantive is Recon. It's all massive checks for you. 3.5 trillion, all for the American people, all for you. But you still need to push Purple Power, Seats for Stimulus, because you have to ensure that they spend the right money on you, not the wrong money in the wrong way. And ultimately, it's a lot of money, and you want to ensure that they get it done right. Meantime, there's a lot of room to put stimulus checks in there, so push Purple Power and make sure they do what they say and deliver those stimulus checks as they so promise. Finally, if you haven't gotten rent, utilities, food, or internet, do it right now. Consider also becoming a member, so you get delivered daily from me a breakdown of all the big money under second and third. Congratulations to the people who have sent me messages in the last 24 hours on private message for Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram of your success stories for rent and internet. If you haven't, send it to me as well, and I'll feature them tomorrow on camera. And with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Coming up next is Overnight's Crypto as Bitcoin goes over 50,000. But can it stay there? I have all the details, and stay with me as that video starts right after this on a big Evenings of Evenings LA.